Stop taking responsibility for other people's projections. Other people can think all sorts of things about you. They can think all sorts of crazy ideas. They might not like you. They might not like other people. They may have belief systems. They may have ideas. But what is so common for many people? You take on their mental projection. So this video is just reminding you to stop doing it. Stop taking responsibility for their projections. What they think of you is their business. What they think of any situation is up to them. What is more common though? We get triggered. They think something about us, and what do? We take responsibility for it. We try to change their mind about us. We try to play different characters or personas or act in ways to get their approval. Maybe we want to control the situation. Or they may have a viewpoint and we subtly change what we think because we don't want to offend them. We don't want to be the odd one out. We don't want to be ostracized. And so what are we doing here? We are taking responsibility for their projections rather than going into what we think and being okay with conflict. Because the pattern here we are attempting to avoid is conflict. We have a fear or avoidance of conflict with other people. And this can cause us to be overly curious, overly invested in other people's views of us or other people's views of situations. So what do I mean by projection? What I mean by that is it's not the truth. Not only can we not really know what other people really think, but we project ideas of what they think about us or other people in our heads. This is our projection we've created in our minds. It's this emotional story that's constructed in the brain. And the brain is filtering through this ego mind where it needs something, needing meaning, desiring something like safety, approval, security, control. It's desiring all these different things. And so the narrative is filtered through that. In a sense, there's a delusion, there's a lack of truth, there's a lack of core truth to what is really happening here. It's a projection. So we have a projection in our minds. Not only do we have the projection in our minds, but they have a projection in their minds of us. And the social part of our brain, what that can do if you are an overly sensitive person is it can, and by the way, when I say overly, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying if you are a sensitive person, if you are an empathetic person or empath, as I consider myself one, you can really read emotions, you can really read how people feel, you can read energy. And so you may have a pattern of when you feel that you want to change it, you want to make sure that other people are not conflicting with you, other people are feeling good about themselves or feeling good about you. You don't want to offend people. And so the mind of the empath tries to read and figure out what their projection of you is. So you now have a projection that is trying to project what you think their projection of you is. That's kind of crazy, right? It's like it's a mental game. it's like you don't really know what's going on in their brain, but the way we work as social creatures is we then create, or we have a image, a depiction of them as they communicate to us, and they have a depiction of us in them, and then we have a depiction of what we think their depiction of us is, and this can go around in a couple loops, kind of crazy. Now, what I'm suggesting here is really to drop that projection and stop trying to take responsibility for it, because you don't need to figure out their projection of you. You can just behave in ways that are aligned to how you feel, and when things arise, when conflicts arise, then you can deal with them. It may feel really normal to always be trying to psychoanalyze and understand everybody in the environment around you, but let me ask you this. Is there an aspect there that is coming from the need for security, the need for control, the need for approval, the need for desiring or ensuring that you aren't threatened in some way? Because it's really helpful to improve your reading skills, your awareness skills. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is to focus on if there's a core ego desire there, a core trauma protective mechanism that's there. Because if there is, you may need to focus on that and let go of that and reintegrate that in yourself, which will then greatly benefit you, how you feel, and even your reading skills, because now you aren't going to be so delusional when you read others, when you understand others. You are going to be coming from more of a neutral place, more of a grounded place, more of a compassionate place.